Good morning and Happy New Year. I'd like to call the meeting of the January 7, 2020 meeting of the Warren County Board of Supervisors to order. The first order of business is the election of officers. We will select the chairman and vice chairman of the board for the 2020 year. For each office, I will take nominations, and board members will vote on the nominations in the order they are received until we've had a majority vote. The nominations do not need a second, but I will ask for one. At this time, I would entertain a motion for the office of chairman.
I nominate Walt Mabe for chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations?
I move we close nominations.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor of closing nominations signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. All those in favor of the nomination of Mr. Mabe for chairman, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. I'll now take nominations for the position of vice chairman.
I nominate Cheryl Cullers.
A second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to close nominations?
I move we close nominations.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of closing nominations signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. All those in favor of Ms. Cullers for vice chairman signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Y'all please come up for the dance.
Congratulations.
Pretty close last night.
Congratulations, Chairman.
Thank you.
I'm short, so it needs to be. Okay. So short, I see her swing my legs. Gotcha.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming. And we appreciate you taking the opportunity out of your busy day to visit with us, give your opinions, and we hope that we get a whole bunch more from everybody. Every week we should fill up this room. And to fill up the room, it takes people just like you to tell other people to come visit. We need the community involvement in doing everything that we do. So I think the first order of business that we're going to be doing is the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions?
Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt the agenda as presented.
Anybody else?
Need a second.
Second.
Approved. Thank you.
Excuse me. Take a vote, did you?
No, I did not. I apologize. We had a second on this.
Made a second.
Say again?
I made a second.
You made a second. Shall we roll call?
Mr. Carter?
Aye.
Ms. Oates?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman?
Aye.
Ms. Cullers?
Yeah.
Mr. Fox?
Aye.
So if we wanted to, if we wanted to postpone something, then we wanted to.
Item D is the public presentation comment period, about 20 minutes. Time limit, public presentation time is intended for an opportunity for public to give input on relevant issues and not intended as a question and answer period. Mrs. Mounts, do we have anybody that wishes to speak?
Yes, sir. One individual, Paul Gabbard.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Paul Gabbard, 1221 Valley View Drive. It's nice to see the new board. Welcome. I only have a few things that I want to talk about, and that is the responsibility that the 3 new members have taken on to clean up the mess in this county. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be a lot of hard decisions, and all the decisions are not going to be popular, that's for sure. You can't please everybody. Have the willpower and the courage to not let the almighty dollar take control of any of you, as it has in this county, which is why this county is in the shape that it is. Have transparency for the citizens, be open and honest. Be there to talk to anybody who needs to talk to. And again, welcome. That's all I need to say.
Thank you, Mr. Gabbard. Mrs. Mounts, anybody else?
No, sir.
Is there anybody else in our audience that wishes to speak about anything? Please come forward. Now, you realize that this particular session, it has to be related to the agenda that we're trying to work off of?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is this just for what's on the,
For right now, this is just part of the agenda. We'll get you an open presentation in a little bit.
I thought this was public.
I'm sorry?
I thought this was a public presentation.
Oh, you don't get to talk again.
Well, there is one thing I'd like to say about the agenda.
Come on back up, Paul.
The one thing which is on the agenda is, let me find it. I believe there is something on here about the laundromat, the apartments above. I did some research, and this is one of the things that I hope this new board recognizes. 136 Hillage Street in March of 2019 was bought for $450,000. Its value was $266,000. 125 East 2nd, which the county also owns, is valued at $94,800. That's a total of $360,800. And the county purchased this for $450,000. When I got up here after this property was purchased, I was told by a member of the board that it was purchased to tear down and put a parking lot in. That's troublesome, that we're going to spend more money than the property is worth just to tear it down and spend money putting a parking lot in. And this is one of the issues that I hope the new board recognizes, and that they will make better decisions from now on than the old board did. This is not a business decision. This is just a waste of taxpayers' money. We're paying rent on that. Well, we're not paying rent. We're paying the payments on this property. We're paying insurance on this property. We're paying upkeep on this property. We spend money on repainting the upstairs apartment and cleaning the apartment up for the new tenants. This is a lot of money for a property that is just sitting there taking up taxpayers' money. And I just feel that is a very, very wrong thing to do to the taxpayers of this county. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to speak? Any comment? We'll close this part of the presentation. The next item is the report for the Virginia Department of Transportation, Mr. Carter.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, board members. Congratulations to the new board members.
Thank you.
VDOT's report for December and for January. This time of year, with the type of weather we have, we don't get as much done as we do in the springtime and the summertime. So we have been able to, in December though, continue with our grading operations. We have about 45 miles of non-hard surface grade that we continually grade throughout the winter to try and keep the potholes to a minimum there. We've done pothole repairs with cold mix patch as they arise, and we continue to do that. We repaired shoulders on Route 637, Guard Hill Road. We've cut brush on 677, Catlett Mountain Road. We'll continue to cut brush on that road as well as others this month. We began the slope repair on 638 Houseville Road with the gabion baskets. We only got out, equipment moved out there and got started one day, and then we got hit with weather events and holidays. If we can get decent weather for a few days, we hope to have that completed by the end of this month. We responded to several weather events. Even though we didn't really have anything, our weather forecasters were calling for ice and fog, so we put watch crews out for Linden Mountain and Chester Gap, which is where we get hit the worst with the cold temperatures. And of course today, the forecast isn't looking too good, so we're mobilizing. Well, we mobilized at 7:30 this morning in case it came in early, and we're up in that mobilization level at 10 o'clock this morning, bringing additional resources because the forecast has come up overnight. The board issues, we're still waiting on some environmental clearance. Supervisor Cullers has done some of our preliminary work for us out there and in regards to the rebar that's sticking up down at Indian Hollow Bridge. So as soon as we get that environmental clearance, then we're going to try to get that taken care of. Are there any other issues the board would like for me to address?
I have a quick question, and it's probably just for my own clarification. When you say watch crews, what are you actually saying?
Well, we bring 2-man crews in that patrol the roads, and then if something starts to fall, they're already there to take care of it. And if it continues, they can call in additional. If nothing happens, then they're simply there to watch.
That's kind of what I figured, but you never know. We've got different words for it.
I understand, sir.
I appreciate that. Any other questions or concerns?
Make a comment if you will.
Yes.
The trimming on Fort Valley Road looks to be almost complete, and they've done a great job along there. It makes a big difference when you come off the mountain road. The other question I have is the mountain road right at the fish hatchery. Has it been determined what the width of that road is?
Yes, sir. It is a 30-foot prescriptive right-of-way. We have 15 feet from the center line on each side.
Does that mean that it could be allowed for parking on one side of the road right at that beach area because it's a natural situation?
VDOT cannot extend beyond that 15 foot from the center line.
I understand.
So if the county were to get permission or something, to put some parking area over there, then something could be done. But right now, on our right-of-way, we don't have that ability.
You don't have enough room to get a side parking long ways along parallel to the road?
No, sir. That 15 feet from the center line, and you consider that the travel width of the roadway is at least 10 to 12 feet, that only leaves you, most of the time it only leaves you to just right at the ditch line.
I understand. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
I had a couple of questions, if you don't mind. Could you, for the public, kind of clarify what the issue is with the rebar down at the river? Just so I've seen some canoes in there, so people are aware if they do get in and out of the river that it's there and be aware of it. At the Indian Hollow, the rebar.
Right, I understand that, but what is it you would like for me to clarify?
Well,
It's a hazard.
Yeah, and then it's there, and you know, when you say rebar, is it a piece of rebar that's laying in the river, you know, and
No,
I can explain or you can explain it. I thought better coming from you.
Now, what happened is that apparently when the old bridge was demolished, they overlooked a piece of rebar that was used in the footer to hold the piers up on the old bridge, and it's now sticking up there, and it's a hazard for people coming in and out of the water. At that time, Supervisor Cullers noticed it and brought it to our attention. We went down and looked at it, and because we have to get into a stream, it's required that we have an environmental clearance and permit. We thought at first that it might just be a chunk of concrete with the rebar still stuck in it. But again, Supervisor Cullers donned her waders the other day and says that it's actually in the old footer itself, which is, we couldn't excavate the whole thing. So now we'll have to determine whether we need to just, whether we can cut it off or whether we put up another cap of concrete over top of it to protect it. But we also are meeting with the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries about the potential for improving the boat landing down there. It's possible, because we don't know yet, that they may be able to cover it over with whatever they do for the boat landing. So, but we're working on it.
Thank you, I appreciate that. A couple other questions. Back in the spring, I had talked to you about the rocks that were falling, you know, the cavern for that distance,
Yes,
those two
ma'am.
rock walls. And I know you said a geologist needed to review that. I didn't know
Yes,
where
ma'am.
we were with that.
The geologist did come up and look at that. We have 2 geologists on staff, and one of them is actually a PhD in it. He did come up and look at it and advised us not to try and do anything with it. That right now he felt it was stable. Obviously, occasionally a small piece will come down, and they're going to continue to monitor it on an annual basis.
Okay, I appreciate that. Let's see, we talked about the bridge there at Cooney. So and for the people, my question on that was, you know, it's needed to be swept off, and Mr. Carter can address that issue so the water doesn't stand there at the edges. Another thing, when Mr. Fox was talking about brush cutting, is there any plans to brush cut along Browntown Road and 340 in the areas of South River?
Yeah, we did some brush cutting in the Browntown area about 2 months ago.
Yes, sir. Nice job. I appreciate that.
And unfortunately, we've only got 12 people there and a whole lot of roads to cut. And the contracting for brush cutting has become fairly costly. But what we try to do is alternate the contract about a couple of weeks between our 6 area headquarters.
Okay.
In other words, coming from one area headquarters, get the worst spots. And especially if large trees are involved. We're not.
And that was going to be my next question. I know there are trees, the ash trees dying, those are an issue, and basically my next thing was going to be, could we get together and do a ride along and look at things so you can point out what your concerns are in my area, and I can, so that we're on the same page as far as.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I look forward to that. And I think that's it. I'll see you Monday at the bridge, it sounds like.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, sir. And I appreciate everything. You guys have a lot to do with not the best resources at all time, and I do appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cullers. Mr. Carter, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Mrs. Oates? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. If I might approach the board for a minute, I would like to give the new supervisor my card.
Absolutely, sir.
Contact me.
Thank you.
Well, I ran out.
I'll see you Monday.
You know.
Yes, sir.
I think she's got my number.
Unfortunately for him, I do.
And I can be reached 24/7 on that, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next report is about our Warren County Public Schools, Mabe and Sheppard. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you this morning. I would first like to congratulate the new school board member, new Board of Supervisors members on their election. Our student population is growing slightly. For the 2018-19 school year, our fall membership was 5,184 students. Our fall membership this year was 5,242 students, which is 58 more students than we had the previous year. In the previous year, we saw a decline. In previous years, we saw a decline in student enrollment. The decline in enrollment correlated to the decline in birth rate starting in 2009. The birth rate for Warren County is increasing, but is still not where it was between the 2005-2008 school year, or years. On November 15th, the school board received 9 responses for the request for proposals for a superintendent search firm. At last night's school board meeting, the school board interviewed 2 of the firms that submitted proposals. In the next several weeks, the school board will be selecting a firm and awarding a contract for a firm for consulting services associated with conducting a search for the next superintendent of Warren County Public Schools. The third thing on my list is we are getting ready for the A.S. Roads Elementary School renovation project. We have awarded the construction project to LCW Construction of Winchester in the amount of $3,096,300. This will allow us to complete the base bid of the renovation project, which includes creating a secure front entrance, creating office space at the front of the building, renovating the restrooms and making them ADA compliant, replacing the floors, replacing the ceiling, and addressing the ductwork for the HVAC units. With the additional funds that the Board of Supervisors allocated to the school system in December for the renovation of A.S. Roads Elementary School, from the first year of savings from the bond refunding in the amount of $629,191, we'll be able to purchase and install the HVAC units for the renovation of A.S. Roads Elementary School. There are several items remaining for the renovation, which include replacing windows, replacing the casework, which includes sink and cabinetry in the classrooms, and replacing the flat roof. As you may remember, the pitched roof was replaced last summer and the asbestos was removed. We are hoping if there is carryover funds from the 2018-19 school year, the Board of Supervisors will consider allocating the funds to complete the A.S. Roads renovation project. Thank you for your continued support of our school system, and I'll be happy to try to answer any questions.
Questions, Mr. Fox?
I just have one thing from Mr. Shannon. Funding for this, will that be coming up on this year's coming up budget, or has it already been allocated?
So we've already transferred the funds that the board allocated back in December, so that would be in the current fiscal year.
Right.
Again, if they're making a request from the FY19 audit figures as far as leftover funding, the board would consider that after we've received the audit. Right now, we're looking at getting the audit back, and a presentation to be made the first Tuesday in February. That would come out of the current year's budget, or would come out of the reserves at that point.
And some of the money from the renovation of A.S. Roads Elementary School came from money that we saved from the Warren County Middle School project. That's where the large portion of the money came from.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Mrs. Cole?
I have one question. With the renovations, what is the projected time that this will keep A.S. Roads? I know they're basically overpopulation, but the longevity of the renovation, how far in the future do you think it will continue to support?
So with our decline in enrollment, the enrollment at A.S. Roads, or membership at A.S. Roads Elementary School is a little over 250 students. I think it's 254. We've had as many as 275 to 280 students. So this building is one of the gems of Warren County, so we do not anticipate that we would close it. It'll be in use for many years down the road.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. Mr. Carter? Mrs. Oates?
I do have a question. So you mentioned that you guys narrowed down to 2 search firms and then interview the search firms. Is it not customary for you to engage multiple search firms and then do it on a contingent basis based on, who brings you the individual first, or is that the normal protocols?
So this is the normal protocol.
Okay.
So we received 9 proposals from our request for proposal, which was sent out sometime in October. We received the proposals in November. The school board vetted the 9 proposals and they chose 2 to interview. So they interviewed 2 last night. We will be negotiating with those 2 firms. And if we reach agreement, then one of those 2 search firms will be the consulting services for the.
They'll be engaged to find the individual for you?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I have a question, or a couple actually. With the school board and with the school system in general, we've got a new sheriff. We've got SRO questions that have come up in the neighborhood. How did that work yesterday, first day back to school? Did we have coverage in every school?
So as far as I know, we had coverage in every school. I did hear that there was some chatter on Facebook last evening about one of the SROs, so that is being addressed at this point. So
Is that good chatter or bad chatter?
not good chatter.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy to talk about it if you'd like to. And next thing, as far as the engagement with the new sheriff, when you've got bullying issues that have come up in the school systems, and I know that they're going to happen. We can't get away from that. But have you been able to address the issues that when we're dealing directly with the sheriff's department, and the SROs, what we need to do and how we can do it more effectively to make sure that our kids are safe?
Right, we've started the conversation, so I met with with the new people who will be working with us. Deputy Sergeant Aaron is the person that's going to be day-to-day responsible, and then Lieutenant Laura Nelson Hoss is going to be her supervisor, and then Captain Maxfield is going to be kind of in charge of the whole SRO program. So we met briefly on Friday to talk about some of those things. We have a more formal meeting on Thursday this week, maybe 2 o'clock, something like that.
Okay.
Yes, so it is being, we are moving forward with that.
Okay. In the coming school year for 2020, are you planning on trying to develop any new classes for kids or classes? I mean, I'm concerned about every child getting the best education that they can. And are we going to be expanding our education system to help some of those that aren't destined for college, a more vocational approach?
We are. Thank you for asking that question. One of the programs that we are getting ready to put before our school board is Patient Care Tech. So that takes our CNA program, which gives students a certificate in certified nursing assistant and takes it to the next level. So those students will be able to take blood and to do IVs and to read EKGs and give EKGs. So it just takes those students to the next level. So we are planning on implementing that with help from the Warren County Educational Endowment, and Valley Health is going to help us fund that program. We are also working with Lord Fairfax Community College on some additional career and technical education offerings for our students. So yes, we are.
And one last question from me anyway. I appreciate the fact that our children are coming to school every day and we're trying to get parent engagement. I know that we've talked about that ourselves. Getting parent engagement with our kids' education is important, and we've got to figure out how we can do that better. And we're working toward that, and I understand. One of the concerns that I have with the children is I want to make sure that every child gets something to eat every day. Because there are kids out there that don't eat every day, and when they come to school, that may be the only meal that they get. How can we make that better for those children to make sure that they're not hungry? And I know that we've got the backpack program that takes things home on the weekends and maybe even at night. I don't know every detail about that, but I think that every child needs to eat, and to make sure that they are at least comfortable for part of their day.
Right. So a couple of the things that we are working on is today's a weather inclement day. And we are anticipating the same weather that our VDOT representative just mentioned. But so there are kids who won't eat today because they are in school. So we are actually working with our food service, which is provided by Sodexo, to see how we can bring kids in during weather days in order to be able to feed them. We offer a summer program, which is Monday through Thursday, where our students can come in to eat Wilson Morrison and eat lunch every single Monday through Thursday and have a good hot meal. Or we actually have a van that takes meals out to students in certain locations throughout the county. So I think last year we served 7 locations during the summer. So we are working with Sodexo, our food service program, in order to add additional opportunities. And then at E. Wilson Morrison, we provide free breakfast and free lunch for all students there. So that was a program that we were able to apply for and receive for all students for E. Wilson Morrison for the next 4 years. So,
Is there any other schools that may be able to qualify for that?
there are no other schools that qualify currently for that, but we continuously look for funding that's available for that,
Okay.
because it's our concern as well.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and trouble for coming in.
Thank you.
Our next report comes from the Mrs. Felicia Hart from the Tourism.
Grab the clicker here.
Finding you all. Thank you all for having me today and allowing me to update you, bring you up to speed on what's going on, and congratulations. Thank you. Appreciate this. All right, first off, I want to take just a couple minutes to thank the partnership with the EDA that we've been working on with Doug Parsons and Jeff and Ed and all those folks. You've heard Doug talk about the TIER program. So I don't know if you all saw this, but this is the Virginia Economic Review. It was from the VEDP, the Virginia Economic Development Partnership. And they specifically talked about the TIER program. So you can see, Warren County is on there. They're looking, Doug has worked hard and put all of the information on that website. And so literally Warren County is on the map now, so it's a good thing. Partnership that we talked about, I went to the EDA and had a discussion with Jeff and the group there. We're going to do what we call, it's the Commercial Property Open House. First time we've ever done it. We're partnering with the EDA, and we're also partnering with the Blue Ridge Association of Realtors. And what we're going to be doing is I'll be leasing the trolley. We're going to have it on February 19th. We've got a mailing list of probably about 80 to 100 commercial realtors within probably maybe a 60, 80 mile radius. And they will be invited to come. We're going to be we'll have a breakfast here, light breakfast, and then we'll be doing a trolley tour. So we're going to be going through the town, through the county to the different commercial properties that we have available. On that trolley will be Jeremy Logan, thank you, and we'll have Jeremy from the town. The purpose of this is to help those realtors understand there's a relationship. We're open for business. They don't have to know all the answers. They just know the resources to give us a call. So we'll be talking about the incentives that we have, the technology zones, the opportunity zones, those types of things. So we're excited about this. We've got a lot of people that have already heard what's going on and calling to reserve their seats. So hopefully we can, instead of the trolley, we can use the big bus. So we're excited about that. So again, thanks to the EDA and the Blue Ridge Association of Realtors for partnering with us. The Spotted Lantern Fly meeting, hopefully you all have heard. I'm hoping the Regional Commission sent you a save the date card. That is going to be January 22nd. If you haven't heard that, Winchester Frederick County is actually under quarantine. And it has now been spotted in Clark County. It's inevitable that it's going to be coming here. This is a pest that is so new to the states. The scientists that are working on it in Frederick County are actually from West Virginia. They developed their own laboratory in Frederick County because they didn't want to run the risk of taking it to West Virginia. So we're going to have some experts here. They're going to be talking to local officials. We're going to have several of the surrounding localities that will be here to help us understand what the potential damage is from this pest with regards to the wineries and the breweries, that kind of thing, all of our orchards. This has the potential to be a real nasty and economical problem for localities, so we're trying to get ahead of that. Workforce retention, EDA just hosted a workforce retention training. I know some of you all were there. That was at the Inland Port, very well attended. As a follow-up, I'm working directly with those HR managers. They are the ones that are recruiting folks from other localities to come into town and to our community. And so we're working with them to provide them some of the information, the quality of life. We put together welcome bags. So for folks that they're trying to coax into our community to move here, and so we're trying to put together a very nice presentation on their behalf. So we'll work with them, you know, if there's somebody who they're bringing in wants to go zip lining or wants to go to the caverns, we'll work directly with those HR managers to set that up so that they see us as a very welcoming community and see all the assets that we have. So I appreciate being part of that. We, just as a heads up, we do produce a handout. Right now, we're a little over 4,000 welcome kits and welcome bags that we give to all of the hotels, the conference attendees, the ATF folks that are coming in here, the numerous plants. We give them to RMA, we give them to Christian College. So anybody who's coming into our community, we make those bags, it's got coupons and all the stuff to do here in our locality. So we make those available to anybody who would like those. Trolley update, we're working hard. We just changed our schedule. We rerouted it. We're looking to increase, we're going through in front of more homes. We're increasing the route a little bit to help serve the needs of our clients. We've now changed our times so that they're in coordination with the corridor connector. We had some issues there, so we've changed our times, the drop-off times, so now when someone is dropped off from the corridor connector, they just have a few minutes wait for the trolley, and vice versa. And I wanted to make you all aware, we have worked closely with DSS and the school system. We have provided these free passes. Mike Hirsch has them from the school system, and we gave them to Michelle at DSS. So if you've got folks who have a special need, they can be given these passes, and they don't have to pay to ride the trolley. It has made such a difference for folks in our community. It's amazing what 50 cents and a dollar will do for someone and how you can change their life. We do have a number of ADA folks who ride our trolley. They are confined to a wheelchair. We have 4 that are confined to a wheelchair, and they're out here at 6:30 in the morning to catch the corridor connector. So we're working on shelters. We're going to be expanding that. With regards to the trolley too, I just want to let you know, we do work closely with anybody who is ADA, and we have, I think there's currently 5 that we actually go to their homes and pick them up in their wheelchairs. One of them is a young gentleman. We worked with his mother. He was trying to go, he is visually impaired, and he has some leg issues, so he walks with a cane. He and his mother is renting a townhouse for him. He's trying to live on his own and had trouble getting up Kaiser Road. We work with him. We go straight to his house, to his townhouse now to pick him up. He volunteers at one of the local nonprofits here in town. To see this young man, he has grown 4 inches because now he doesn't have to rely on mommy to take care of him. So again, 50 cents to a dollar can make a difference in someone's life. So and I appreciate what he's trying to do with the lunches. Tourism Summit, we've got that coming up. This is our 2nd year that we'll be doing this. We're inviting all of the tourism-related businesses to come. Last year we had folks from the Virginia Tourism Corporation there. We talked about grants. We talked about marketing opportunities. We work to train the tourism-related businesses to make sure we understand what we're doing for them, what else could we be doing for them. You'll be getting a postcard for this, so save the date for that. We appreciate that. It's always a good opportunity. It's a chance for them to learn, to really build on those partnerships and those opportunities that we have, because those businesses don't have to do that on their own. they're a canoe company, they can work with a restaurant to provide box lunches or box dinners. So we're trying to help them understand that if you can get a busload here for 300 that are gonna ride down the river, and then somebody else can sell another 300 lunches, yay. So we're working on that and trying to help them look through that process. I want to give you an update on the READY grant. We had applied for this. This was from the federal government, and this is a partnership with between Front Royal, Page and Luray, and Rockingham counties, and we're all considered the gateway communities to the Shenandoah National Park. So what our goal is, we're going to be producing a comprehensive business plan for the 3 rural localities trying to seek or differentiate our communities based upon the natural and cultural assets, creating a tri-county outdoor marketing organization to establish the Connect 340 region as a recreation destination. We've learned none of us have deep enough pockets. We have to look at this regionally, and by putting this together, you can see we had to go through several classes. Because we were selected, we will have experts that are being brought into our locality. We're putting together SWOT analysis. We're talking with all of the different businesses. So these experts will come in, see what we have, and help put us in the right direction to establish this long-term goals. Part of what we want to do with this is bring in, we're the canoe capital. It wasn't until just a few years ago that you could actually buy a canoe here. We've got companies now that are selling a lot of canoes. They have to go out of town, out of our locality, to purchase those. So they take their 18-wheelers, their trucks, to go down and purchase those canoes and kayaks and bring them back here. Well, if we could coax a light industrial canoe company, kayak company to come in, that's exactly what we're looking for. And then because of the coverage that we have here, the needs that we have, the product that they could sell. So this is what we're working with regards to the READY grant. Will help us look for those types of companies that we want to bring in, that we need to bring in. This is for our motor coach companies. We're going to be participating. We do every year on the American Bus Association. So we're in front. This group, we will be in front of about 120 motor coach companies, face to face with them. So this is a piece that we put together to showcase what we have. Now realize we're in competition with all these other localities. So this buys us face time with those coach companies. This is a walk away, leave behind for them. We're working with 2 coach companies now that we met through them last year that are they're coming in from Pennsylvania. So it's working, we're getting there. This is a partnership. We know we bring in a tour company. They're going to be staying here for a week at the Holiday Inn. We don't necessarily have enough here in Front Royal to keep everybody busy for an entire week, entertained. So we do partner with the other localities like they do with us. So we're the hub. The spokes are going to go out. They'll spend one day in Winchester. They'll spend a day in Washington, D.C., and then they'll come back and have dinner and spend the night in our hotel, so we collect the lodging tax. So this is a good thing for us with regards to motor coach companies. Partnerships, just a quick update. The Shenandoah Valley Travel Association, we've been partners with them for several years. We have jointly, we've applied for and received a $50,000 Virginia Tourism Corporation marketing grant. The Shenandoah Valley Tourism Partnership that was established, that is the tourism offices from Clark County up to Lexington. We get together every month. We all pony up money to sit at that table and have a voice, have a vote, because collectively we can do so much more. We're able to advertise internationally and do some things like that. So we're part of what we're doing with this. That's a whole website, whole marketing campaigns that we've been doing for quite a few years now. So we're applying for the $50,000 grant from them. Trade shows, we're going to be, at the end of this month, we're going to be in Pittsburgh at the AAA the travel show. So we'll have our booth there, coaxing people to come in and see us. These are folks who have disposable income, who are looking for places they want to go to. Pittsburgh is Pennsylvania is one of our, every month, it is one of our top 5 where folks come from. So it's a day trip for them to come in. So we're participating there. We're exploring the Dulles RV show and the motorcycle show. We've done it, with the 3 years that we were able to keep the motorcycle ladies here. That word has spread. They've been very good at bragging about what we've offered to them when they've come here and what we provided to them. So they're talking to other groups, and we're negotiating with them now to bring them here for a week in their conferences. The RV campgrounds, we produced and personalized handouts, maps, there are maps, ads, info, that are given out to all the local campgrounds about our community. So anybody who brings their RV in, as soon as they check in, they get one of those, so just like a welcome kit. Virginia Welcome Center, we were just at the Clearbrook. We did a blitz there. We did that for the entire month. We get about 70,000 people who go through that and see. So we have all kinds of displays talking about all the stuff that we have to take advantage of here in our locality. So when they're coming through for the holiday, we know they come back through the spring, most of them do, so that they can start planning accordingly. The Joint Tourism Committee, I want to thank them because of the additional funding through them. We've been able to do some ads in the Golf Style magazine. We've done an ad in the Golf Guide magazine. And out of that, we're doing some golf shows. And then Blue Ridge Outdoors ad that we've been able to do. This is an ad that ran in the Golf Style magazine. That was a full-page ad talking about our 5 golf courses. And then that picture over there is hard to see, but that is that's just a small portion of what we have at the Welcome Center. So that's a picture of the Cullers Overlook. Front Royal Canoe provides that canoe. I can't tell you how many people sit in that canoe because there's oars, and then they take selfies of themselves. So what a great way for Front Royal to get our name out there. So and the Virginia Tourism Corporation, the first time somebody did that, they were just in awe that somebody actually sat in that canoe, and they love taking the pictures. So it's a fun thing for them too. The Appalachian Mural Trail Program, we joined that last year. This is something that came out of the folks that had established this program in Southern Virginia, parts of North Carolina. We had a conversation with them, the woman who started it. She invited us to participate. Mountain Trails took advantage of it. They produced the first one. If you didn't see it, 3 weeks ago, there was a story in since Front Royal has joined, we've convinced Luray, Rockingham, I think we've got Lexington to come on board. So we're a destination for folks to come up here to go to all of these different murals. But the story that was done in Luray for theirs, talking about Front Royal being the first one, actually made national news. So it's made the national headlines for a little mural. How about that? The tourism stats, this is one of the ones I want to end up with. We're expecting our numbers to come out and probably by February for 19. But the tourism, again, is definitely a contributor to the local economy. And the revenue has gone up. In 2018, it went up 4.9%. So we're over $151 million of revenue that was brought into our locality from tourism. If you break that down by the household, the tourism dollars that come in save every household an average of $200. If we didn't have that tourism revenue, homes would have to find that additional state, federal numbers, or the local taxes that would have to be accounted for. So we're excited about this. This is what reminds local officials, this is what reminds our locals why we have to be patient during the leaf peeper season when those folks come in. Careful what you ask for. But that's it, so thank you again for your time. Any questions, anything I can answer, address?
Mr. Fox, do you have anything?
No, I have no questions.
Mrs. Cullers?
Oh, I have lots of things. We'll talk later.
Thank you. And I do appreciate you all coming and learning ahead of time too. That was definitely appreciated.
Can we get a copy of your presentation?
Oh, certainly, I've given it to Emily.
Okay, that's
Yes.
great, thank you.
And Mr. Carter? I have one quick question.
Yes, sir.
How do you do it all? How many people are on your staff?
We have 1 full-time and 4 part-time, and we have probably about, I think right now, they will take a leave because it's cold. We don't have as many visitors coming in, but we can have as many as 12 volunteers at our visitor center that FaceTime upwards of 37 or a little over 30,000 people that come into our visitor center. They love it. It's a passion. We just, it makes us feel good. We have a lot to brag about. We have a lot to showcase here in our community. So it's fun. This isn't a job. This is the fun part.
The adventure begins every time somebody comes into town.
Yes, sir. Well, the adventure it starts with us trying to coax them to come into our town.
Well, I appreciate everything that you do
Sure.
with the amount of staff that you have. Hopefully, we can get you more volunteers and make it even better.
Well, we appreciate that.
The press passes, do you have not press passes?
Trolley passes?
Yeah, the trolley passes.
Yes, sir.
Have you had any feedback from your drivers, from your trolley companies as to what's being actually used yet? I know it's new.
It's brand new, so we're just starting that. And then not only will we get it from the trolley drivers, and I can tell you those trolley drivers are so passionate about and they love the riders. They love the folks that come up. They are best friends with those folks who get on that trolley to ride, to go to work every day or do what they're trying to do. So those trolley drivers are the best support system that we have to give us feedback of where are our strengths, where are our weaknesses. If it wasn't for the trolley driver, because what we're going to look at expanding now with this trolley is during the summer months, the kids had no way to get to the swimming pool.
Right.
Oh, wow. Well, that's an easy fix. We can have the trolley go up there to the swimming pool and drop them off. So we don't have those numbers, but we are working closely with DSS and the school system to let us know, because we need the positive feedback from them also. So we'll be able to provide you with that.
Same thing goes for the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Getting seniors back and forth to different places in town, is there an ability or a way that if a senior calls your office or the trolley's office to help them in some way, shape, or form? I know all of this is based a lot upon scheduling and schedules.
Correct.
Sometimes people just need help, and I'm just looking for either volunteers or trolley service or something that could actually have one more piece of help for our seniors.
Absolutely. We're going to be working with the SAAA to make this. We'll do a big marketing campaign. We're also going to be looking at, and it's proven that it's worked in other localities, where every Wednesday we could have a free senior rides that they ride for free every Monday or Tuesday, whatever day we want to pick. It's one of those things, and I'm sure we've all been there. You don't really want to take the bus because what if I miss it? What happens then? So once we get people on the trolley for the first time and they see the system works and they're not going to be left behind, there is a safety net. There's a phone that they can always call. I'm sure that's what we're working towards, to get more of our citizens to take advantage of the service that we provide.
And my last point is, how can we do more? I look forward to talking with you and working with you to see how much more that we can actually do
Certainly.
to get people into our community.
Oh, most definitely. Yes, and I appreciate that. Part of what I had put in my budget this year was actually to do a strategic plan, to have an outside source come in, look at what we're doing, because so many times we tend to get in the trenches, and unless you're playing the whack-a-mole, you don't really get out of that very often. So we're bringing in with what we're going to be learning from the READY grant, putting in that strategic plan. In the past, like many businesses, it was a shotgun approach because you weren't able to measure success or failure. Now with social media, we can actually see where people are coming to on our website, where they're coming from, how long they're staying. We're getting, with social media, we're able to track all of those numbers. So we're much more strategic about where we're advertising. Just like with the golf ad that we did, we put a special URL on there. So they went to that website, to that special page that we had developed on our website. We were able to track those numbers. And talking with Blue Ridge Shadows, who's managing that for all 5 golf courses, those numbers are already up from where they have been in previous years. So it's working.
Thank you, Mrs. Hart.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you taking the time.
Sure, thank you.
Our next report comes from the board members and the county administrator and county attorney. Mr. Carter?
Just offer congratulations to your yourself and Ms. Cullers on sharing what you said. Mark, you prefer, I give you my condolences. Whatever you prefer. Hope everybody had a good new year and look forward to working with you guys this coming year. It's going to be tough. For the budget, very detailed, and look forward to new insight. That's all I have.
Mrs. Oates?
So December, after the election, December was spent feverishly trying to get up to speed on all the issues that we were going to face in this coming year. I did attend the industry roundtable with the EDA and met some of the industry leaders and the companies that are their representatives here. That was an excellent meeting and enjoyed talking to them and asking about their concerns. We did FOIA and COIA training as well. So we're certified. On December 14th, I was the co-host of, I live out in the Jackson's Chase area, so I was the co-host of the community Christmas party. And we had about 40 people at Sly Fox, and I just want to shout out to Sly Fox because he donated the space for that party. So Lou, thanks. And I just ask that you guys be patient with us because we're new and we're trying to come up to speed, and we've already spent tons and tons of hours meeting with people in an attempt to make sure that we represent you well and that we manage your taxes very effectively and efficiently. And so thank you folks for being here, and I look forward to working with you for the next 4 years.
Mr. Fox?
I'd like to just welcome all the new members to the board, and I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Mrs. Cullers?
Everybody's going to soon learn. I take a while, sorry. But I want to thank everyone for coming and wish everyone a happy new year. It's good to see so many people here in the morning, and I hope that continues. I'm thankful for this opportunity to serve the residents of South River District and the whole county of Warren County. It's been my home for my entire life. And I want you all to know that I take this position and the responsibilities with it very seriously. And whatever your expectations of me are, my expectations of me are much higher. I've listened and I've heard you. I've been working diligently and will continue to do so. And I ask for respectful communication with you. I won't be doing any social media besides talking to my friends, saying hi. Anything that has to do with this position, I've put my phone number out there, my home phone number. You're welcome to call me. I keep my phone on all the time, and email me. I've already scheduled to have a town hall meeting with the South River District people on January 26th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I'm going to be at the community room in the Sheriff's Department. And I look forward to people coming out. It's going to be a trial run to see what we need to do and how we need to do it. So basically, meet and greet, just come in and we'll talk. And I ask for patience as we continue to learn. I'm vigilant. I ask a lot of questions. I expect answers, and I verify. As far as things I've done this month, I've been all over the place. So give me December 2nd, I went to the town council meeting. Town people are county people, so I try to get to all their meetings. December 3rd, went to Richmond for the new supervisors, FOIA and conflict of interest training. December 2nd, I started out the morning with Kiwanis having pancakes. I went to the Christmas parade, and then I rang the Salvation Army bell at the Royal King till whatever time we quit that night. December 9th, did another conflict of interest training at the Virginia Inland Court. Having it twice I appreciated that. December 10th, Second Amendment meeting at Warren County High School. December 11th, Planning Commission meeting. December 13th, the EDA meeting. December 16th, another town council meeting, which ended up with me and the guys here spending the evening in the hallway. And I tell you, spending time with you guys in the hallway is very entertaining. I've learned stuff about myself I didn't even know about. So if you get a chance, hang out with these guys in the hallway sometimes. December 17th, we went with Mr. Stanley, Mr. Childress, and we did a tour, and Mike Berry. We did a tour of the solid waste facilities, and that was very informative. The 18th, we all got sworn in, and that was a very nice reception. And I appreciate the effort you put into that, Mr. Stanley, to make it nice for us. The 19th, we had a roundtable meeting with the EDA and a tour of the inland port, and that again was very informative. Another EDA meeting on the 27th of December. I met with Brad Kresge. He's the supervisor of Parks and Rec maintenance at the maintenance building. Got a tour of that, and he ran me through his responsibilities and so forth. New Year's Eve, I spent it at the 4-H Center. I haven't been out of my house for New Year's in a long time. And that was a wonderful evening. Mr. Hart put that on as a fundraiser for the CNC Family Fun Day. And I told him last night, I said, I hope you recover from all this work and plan to do it again. If you want to go somewhere for a good time that contributes back to the community, put that on your calendar for next New Year's Eve. It was just a wonderful, wonderful evening. January 6th, last night, spent the whole time in the hallway with these guys again last night at the town council work meeting, and I will shut up now.
That is so hard to follow. I was fortunate enough to get elected on November 5th, and I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate y'all's support. It means more than you could ever know. And your expectation of me, I can't compare it because mine is higher. I want to do everything that I can for you. I want to listen to you. I'll listen to you twice as much as I talk. I'm somewhat of a quiet individual, but I do intend to listen, speak, and help this community grow and be better. We've got a fiscal responsibility for our community, and we want to make it better. And we want you to be able to trust us, trust the system that's working around us, and help us grow our community. We need to develop our tourism. We need to develop our growth in the community. And without everybody's help, that's not going to happen. So as far as me as an individual, I want to be talking to all of the different departments as we go forward to try to figure out how we can make it better. It works now, and it works with the community people that are doing the work every single day that don't get the applause that they should get. And the leadership has got to be the leaders, very simply. I did the EDA training as my new supervisors did. I did the FOA and COA training as my supervisors did. I've met with the EDA, I've met with the planning departments, I've met with Mrs. Logan, I've met with anybody that will sit and talk to me for a minute. And we're going to be doing more of that. I thank my wife for allowing me to just run her crazy, as she has run me crazy, saying, what are you going to do today? So I appreciate it. So thank you very much. And that leads us to our next.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
I think the administrator.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, first of all, congratulations to Chairman Mabe and Vice Chairman Cullers on your election this morning. On behalf of the staff, I look forward to serving you and the rest of the board members in the coming year. As you know, today we've got some potential for some winter precip, and I just want you to know the staff is prepared not only for maintenance of our facilities, but also the roads that we maintain as part of the various sanitary districts out in the county. I'm pleased to report that the former Chevy Chase Bank building in Riverton Commons will be coming down in the next few months. In its place will be constructed a 3-tenant building, which, it's our understanding, will include a Five Guys restaurant and a Chipotle restaurant. At this point, we're waiting on DEQ permits for us to be able to issue the demolition and construction permits. But we're hopeful this is the start of a very positive year for economic development in the community. I sent out a letter, and I believe if I can hopefully get your board goals, draft goals for the upcoming year. Once we get all those, we'll compile them and get them back out for you to score them, and then we'll talk about it in an upcoming work session. And lastly, I just wanted to report Rivermont Fire Station The contractor should be completed this week with steel erection, obviously weather pending, on that project. So we're excited about being able to get the roof on and get it closed in and start working on the inside of the building. So I'm sure Mr. Fox goes by that on a regular basis. But with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Shannon. Our county attorney, Mr. Ham.
I look forward to working with the new board. I see a lot of energy and passion amongst all of you, and I wish you the best of luck in getting your goals met. And my job is to help you get those goals met. So if you ever have questions, feel free to email or call.
Thank you, Mr. Ham.